Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Play The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Now my name is LTN23 and welcome to my first ever Let's Play, first ever video of this entire channel. I decided to start with a game like Morrowind that's very extensive. There's a lot of information get put into it and it's quite a very unique game. Most people know Skyrim, which is the 5th Elder Scrolls game, so they don't know too much about Morrowind. Now this game has been Let's Played quite a bit on the internet, on YouTube. So I'm going to try to bring a little bit of a gist to it. I am running regular Morrowind, no mods, no anything, so neither of the expansion packs. So it's going to be straight up clean game, and then afterwards I'll get in and go ahead and mess around with the game. But without further ado, we're going to jump in right away.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up.
Okay, now that's really the only cutscene that you get in one of very few in the entire game. That doesn't really tell you much about what's going on in the game, unfortunately. But it kind of gives you a small gist. You basically are a prisoner, now you're on a boat, and I'm on a boat. And basically you're going to go save the world. That's how this game works. That's how most of them work. If you know anything about Oblivion, you're not dealing much with the Imperial law, which is actually kind of good, or the emperors or anything. This game's a little bit different, so that's why I enjoy it. It's a little swing from Oblivion and Skyrim. It's a little bit different. Just the play style and everything's a little bit different too. Ooh. There we go. Yes, but so far, if you didn't know, this game was made in 2003 by Bethesda. Obviously all the other games were made by Bethesda, and this game was originally for the first Xbox and also for computer, which was actually surprising considering all the graphics. So the type of character I'm going to be playing, I'm not sticking to a specific type. I'm going to be doing a hybrid character. That way it's a little bit easier for me to play. The game will progress faster, and I don't have to deal with certain aspects of the game that make playing as a specific character class harder and some easier. Playing as a general mage in this game is actually a lot more difficult, playing an all-around mage as it is to playing as a mage / a warrior type, which makes the game a little bit more confusing. So if you create a character class and attributes based upon something that fits your perfect type of playing, the more the merrier, the better playstyle you're going to have. So my character isn't going to be specific. He's going to be a hybrid between a mage and a warrior. That being said, I do have tips and tricks that I'll be showing of how I play through the game to make it easier for me, and then make the game, I guess, progress faster. Although some of the exploits you could consider that I'll be using is a little bit unfair. Some of them actually kind of rig the game quite a bit, unfortunately, but they're ways that they're the way how I played through the game, and just something that'll be fun and interesting in order to show. So we just created our character class here. Now basically what we're doing right now is getting our citizenship, and this is where you get to pick your sign, which basically affects your attributes throughout the entire game. Mine is the lady. Fortifies both of these two attributes completely for the entire game by 25%. I don't know why you would pick anything else. So basically now we have our papers, and now we are an actual citizen. Now one of the exploits that I'm not going to be using very extensively in here is actually in here, what you can do in this room is you can go around and click on everything and then drop it. If you come up to it and right click on something, drop it, he runs up to you, and normally he'll stick it in this chest right here, whereas he'll set it on the ground, and then that way he won't take it and you'll be perfect, you know, be safe to go. I'm going to only be dropping the valuable items, because if I went and dropped everything, that would be completely pointless and it would take forever. So I'm just going to drop those in the books. That's about it. Normally when you come through here, you get a little bit of a tutorial about what's going on in the game, like tells you how to use combat and stuff. I'm going to skip over all of that in order for me to go through one little secret that involves what I just explained. The only way to get through this door is in order to take that ring. So in this case, you must take the ring and place it down. Now normally if you come through here, this guy will talk to you about your duties and basically tell you now you're free to go. But before you do that, you can take this warehouse key, and then if you want, you can take these. They're only worth 30 and you can just sell them off, but I just chose not to. That's kind of pointless for me, but that's all I wanted to do, is grab that key. That key is very important. So basically you come to talk to this man. The only bad thing about Morrowind is that it's all written dialogue, so you have to read everything instead of listening. So if you have no background on the game, this game takes forever to go through, at least the main storyline, let alone the thousands and thousands of other quests that you can do in the game. Now basically what I just talked to him about is, he said that you must deliver a package. So the package goes to a man named Caius Casades. He is in the next town called Balmora, and that town is not far from here, but we are actually going to be staying in this town. This is the town of Saint Anine, which is the first town that you get into when you first come off the boat. Fresh off the boat. Sorry if that's racist. But it's the first town that you're in, and I'm going to be staying in here for a little bit. This is your main, like your base town, where you can get set up a little bit. You can, there is a way that you can get a house, which I will be showing, and there's also, this is just the best spot to, you know, basically, if you've never played, it's the best spot to play around with all of your characters and their attributes and their ways of attacking, that sort of thing, types of armor that you want to get, that sort of thing. So what I'm basically doing now is I'm going around and taking everything. The reason I'm taking everything is stuff that I can sell. I'm going to leave the paper just because I'm too lazy to deal with the, because whenever you grab a paper you have to go up to a take. I'm going to do it to that one just because I was demonstrating in that one. But as you can see, all these other little dialogues show up, and they're talking about basically how to use things and items and stuff like that, which I'm not going to do because it's a little pointless, especially since I know how to play the game. I know what exactly to do, quests, that sort of thing. If you are wondering about whether or not I'm going to be doing guild quests, I will be doing full complete guild walkthroughs. This playthrough will be for the main storyline, obviously, but I will be doing full guild walkthroughs and put them up, but that would be for later. So one of the first things you want to do is that ring that we got, you want to go over here and give it to this man. His name's Fargoth. Everyone knows Fargoth. Give him the ring, he will love you, and basically, not in that kind of way, pervert, basically the trader at the trade house, which is your barter, that's where you get weapons and that sort of thing, will be more fond of you. In that case, you'll be able to buy and sell, see 92, you'll be able to buy and sell weapons at much better prices. So I'm going to be selling off almost all of my stuff here. There are a few things that I would recommend that you keep when you start at the beginning of the game. Most of this stuff you want to get rid of. I would keep your ingredients, depending on the kind of player you want to be. I'm going to keep my ingredients, and I think I just gave one away. I have to be careful on, oh wow, for some reason they keep switching back and, okay, yeah, this is going to be a pain in the butt. They keep switching back and forth between, so there we go. Okay, so basically sell off everything, try to make as much money as possible at the beginning of the game, and normally you can just max it out. Another little tip and trick, kind of I guess an exploit, what you can do is if a merchant's out of money, you can sleep 24 hours. That way all of their money will be replenished, and then you'll be able to get even more out of this merchant. Now, the only thing that you truly need to keep at the beginning of this is the package for Caius Casades. Now, you can use the directions if you don't know. If you don't want to play along when you're watching, or you don't want to, you want to play the game thoroughly and not see any hints or tricks, you keep the directions in order to get to him. But other than that, that's about it. Now, for my type of character, I'll be doing a lot of alchemy and making potions, so I'm going to buy a mortar and pestle. This is the best time to get one because you want to keep progressing your skill as you advance throughout the game. And the next thing will be spells. Now, since I'm a hybrid of a mage, of a long blade kind of mage, and then using, obviously, casting spells, I'm going to buy spells right off the bat. Now, normally when you select your class type as a specific mage, you'll be able to use spells right away. It'll give you spells in your inventory to use, but in this case I'm going to be buying spells right now. So then that way I'll actually be able to start casting and start upping my destruction skill. So one of the things I like about this game is using your mortar and pestle, you can make potions. Now, whatever kind of potion you make will create something depending on the ingredient. Now, these would be for restore fatigue, so I just created a restore fatigue potion. That is basically used for if you get it, like every time you attack, you're it's basically saying how many times you can attack over and over again, I guess, and how effective it's going to be, and then when you get downed, how much damage you take. So you always want to have your fatigue restored a decent amount, although there are points in the game where it's very easy to restore your fatigue. I'm going to be making most of all of these potions together, and once I'm done crafting all of these potions and selling them, I will be right back.
Feel free. Talk at your leisure.
No thank you. Alright, so we're back. Although I did not keep all of the potions, I decided to sell them and keep as much money as possible at the beginning of the game. That's the most important. That way you'll be able to progress faster. So we're going to come up here and get our first quest. Now, this guy will talk about Fargoth and how he is basically a bodyguard for Fargoth, and Fargoth hasn't been paying him enough money. So this way we're going to find, he believes he's hiding it, which obviously in video game sense he is definitely hiding it. One thing's about you'll be able to get that ring back, so that's the point of giving him the ring at the beginning. It's not a very good ring, but you should trade it, and then you end up getting it back anyways. So I just took those two mushrooms. Those two mushrooms are actually going to be used for Mage Guild quest when I'm going to be doing that once I head to Balmora later on. But I decided since this is the best time to collect them, I might as well get them now. There's certain types of mushrooms. Here's a third one. You have to collect Hypophasia, Bungler's Bane, Luminous, Rusula, and then Violet Coprinus, which is this one that looks very similar to the Luminous Russell, but it's just a little bit thinner. So it's always something to get them in the early game when you can. That way you're not kind of screwing yourself over later. Another little hint is if you're going to be playing as more of like a battle type of character, if you come over here and jump, you can land right here, and there's actually an enchanted axe. Now I'm not going to take it. It weighs too much for the value, but it does have an enchantment on it. So if you're going to be playing as a warrior, even an orc that's going to be using a type of axe, then you might want to come and get that. So right now we're going to finish off Fargoth's hiding quest, or Fargoth's hiding place quest. What you need to do is, actually the best way to do this is come over to this lighthouse. Now, you make your way inside of the lighthouse, and ow! I don't know what happened, but I just got injured, and I didn't like that. Let's try to heal myself. See if it'll actually work. Nope, nope. If you come over here, you can open this, and you get an unarmored skill. Opening books and reading... Okay, well, I'm screwed. Reading books actually helps with your skill levels, so... but after you come out here, you want to sleep until it is later in the night. So we're thinking around sleep until 9 p.m. The good thing about sleeping is when you're out in the wilderness, it restores all of your magicka and your health. But when you are in a town, then it doesn't restore much. So I can't seem to find this guy. We'll wait one more hour. So there he is. He is a sneaky, creepy little bastard. He just walks around with his torch out, walk around with your cock out. But basically, he's going to go over to that stump. So I'm going to skip this. Basically, if you never played the... Am I stuck? Oh no. Oh, don't die. Perfect. Got it. Stuck the landing. That's your vantage point. You'll be able to see where he is, where he goes, but he kind of just walks around. Now, if you try to talk to him, he's like, oh, what is this? Why are you following me? Leave me alone. So he's obviously being creepy at night. But if you didn't know how to complete the quest from Hriskar, then that's one way of finding out. He'd be like, oh, leave me alone. He's acting very suspicious. So basically, you literally have to wait for him to come over to this hollow tree stump. Now, the funny thing is you can honestly just stand here, watch him walk up to it, turn around, and then you can take the items in or outside from it. So what he's hiding is 300 gold, the enchanted ring, and a new lockpick. But we're going to be an asshole. Instead of returning the quest to Hriskar, because if you return it, he'll be like, oh, he'll like you a little bit more, but he'll take 200 of the gold and give you 100, whereas you might as well keep it because you're not going to have much or at all any interaction with him at all. So basically, the second he turns around, boom, there we go. Quest journal's been updated. So we're going to take all of it, even though he is right there, and he put his torch out, which is actually kind of creepy, but that's about that. So we've actually covered a lot so far in this town. There is a couple more things that I'd like to do here, a couple more quests that I'd like to complete in order to gain a little bit more money, but so far you've gotten the gist of the game. You know, you've seen the graphics, they're quite amazing. The play style is actually a lot faster than some people may think, rather than being extremely slow for people who, or for those who have played but don't know how to carry out quests as fast as possible. But that's okay, I'm going to be running pretty fast while explaining as much as possible. So once again, this is the end of the first part. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike, I guess. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to ask, go ahead and leave in the comment section below. I'll make sure to reply to every single one that I get. So thank you guys very much so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.